Hello YouTubes, WowSoAmaze here, and today's list is about strange real-life zombie encounters. Ranging from a man who ate another man's face in a busy city and growled at police when he was shot, to a place in Indonesia where corpses seem to walk unaided to their graves. Welcome to the list of 5 real-life zombie stories.
Number 5.
In June 2012, police received a call from a distressed man saying there was a man in his house going crazy. When the police arrived, they saw a man named Michael Teron Daniel sitting on the porch with a dead dog in his lap. His mouth and face were covered with blood and fur. The incident started when Michael was outside his neighbour's house on all fours and growling like a dog. He assaulted the neighbour and chased him indoors. Daniel got distracted from chasing his neighbour when he saw their family dog. He proceeded to attack it and started eating it alive. The police said Daniel was distant and not responding to them, and it was discovered he had previously been taking a designer drug called synthetic cannabis. His flesh-eating rage was blamed on this drug, but others say this is evidence of a real-life zombie attack.
Number 4.
On October 24th, 1936, a naked woman making loud groaning noises who had no eyelashes stumbled into the village of Ennery in Haiti. Haitians have a strong belief in voodoo, and stories about zombies and black magic are not uncommon, with some practicing rituals often. So when this zombie-looking woman entered their village, they were instantly afraid. That wasn't the only reason. The villagers became frightened and fled in fear, and that's because the woman looked exactly like someone that used to live in their village, except that woman had been dead a very long time. That woman was called Felicia Felix Mentor, and she was buried 29 years earlier in 1907. When Felicia was alive, she suffered a fracture in her left leg, which left her with a limp. This strange zombie-looking lady roaming the village also had a limp. The woman was taken to a local hospital, and the villagers believed it was the reanimated corpse of Felicia. The strange zombie woman was questioned, but her answers were mostly random mutterings. She didn't know where she was or how she had gotten to the hospital, or where she had been previously. To this day, the identity of the groaning zombie woman remains a mystery.
Number 3.
In 1935, a massive Category 5 hurricane hit the Florida Keys, which is a string of islands separating the Gulf of Mexico from the Atlantic Ocean. With heavy rain and winds of over 150 miles per hour, it literally destroyed everything in its path. When the storm had passed, infected rats began roaming the island, and the story goes it was the very next day the first of the zombies had appeared. People on the island mistook the zombies for dazed hurricane survivors, and this apparent plague quickly spread across the island. The storm had put the exits from the island underwater, and it said that some people were so desperate to escape that countless people drowned. Troops eventually arrived and secured a foothold on the south of the island and started killing the infected. In total, 3,500 people lost their lives due to what's considered to be the closest thing to a zombie outbreak we have ever seen. I know it sounds unbelievable, but after the investigations it was discovered Cuba had a crisis of countless sick people they couldn't treat. So they would put them in boats and push them out to sea, and they were washing up ashore on the Florida Keys.
Number 2.
The Tanah Toraja are an ethnic group that live in a mountainous region of southern Indonesia, and some of the villagers are said to have the ability to raise the dead. They believe a dead person should be buried where they were born and not where they died, so they use a ritual to march corpses home again. I know this sounds a little bit crazy, but it's been well documented and part of their culture for thousands of years, and I guess it's just down to each individual person as to whether you believe it or not. It's said that if anyone addresses or talks to the corpse, it would simply collapse and not be able to make it to the burial site. Now the tribe have access to faster means of travel, this ritual is performed much less, but it's believed they still practice on cattle and can make cows walk for 10 minutes after they've been decapitated. The Toraja have tremendous respect for their dead and take them out of their tombs every year to clean them and dress them in a ritual they call Manin.
Number 1.
In 2012, a surveillance camera caught a rather gruesome and very peculiar attack on the streets of Miami. The police were called to the incident, and when they arrived they discovered a man named Rudy Eugene eating the face of a homeless man, who was laying motionless on the floor. Rudy was naked and was ignoring all of the officers' orders to stop. In the end, the police were forced to shoot him. This only caused him to briefly glance up for a moment and growl, and then he just carried on eating his victim. The police were forced to shoot him again, and the second bullet killed him. Eugene didn't know his victim, and it was just a random attack which went on for a staggering 18 minutes. It happened in broad daylight, and the surveillance video that captured every moment is readily available online. But be careful though, one of the police officers said it was the most gruesome thing he had ever seen. The homeless man thankfully survived his attack, but he had to endure months in a special treatment facility, and now has horrific scars and a heavily disfigured face. Most believe this was a real zombie attack, but others believe this horrific, out-of-the-ordinary attack was drug-related. And that brings my list of 5 real zombie stories to an end. I jolly well hope you liked it, and if you did and you want to see more weird, wonderful and mysterious countdowns, then why not hit that subscribe button? Thank you for watching, see you next week.